Hello, everyone. It's Memorial Day 2022, or I should say it's Sunday. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. So, what I wanted to show you, there I am. What I wanted to show you, I can't show you today. I can only post the links because once again, I forgot how. I don't usually talk about my dreams, as most of you know. I used to be quite the dreamer, but there's not much going on since I retired. And so you can tell by the title of this video, it's about golden handcuffs, a term coined in 1976, which is about the time that I entered the workforce and worked for a corporation for a year or two, and then I started my own business, which means I walked away from the golden handcuffs. So yes, I still get dreams. I just don't talk to anyone about them. But this one I found very interesting. And I was just dreaming. Now that I'm retired, I can actually sit in a lounger, take a nap, instead of going to the garden. So, golden handcuffs are a collection of financial incentives that are intended to encourage employees to remain with a company for a stipulated period of time. Golden handcuffs are offered by employers to exiting key employees as a means of holding on to them, as well as to increase employee retention rates. As most of you know, the years between 2020 and 2023 has been and will continue to be a time of declining jobs, people retiring, my age, and young people who don't want to leave mama's and daddy's basement, thanks to video games and other things you might want to watch on the computer or big screen TV. Me personally, I'm at that age that I don't need a big screen TV. And so, a little bit more about the golden handcuffs. How long do golden handcuffs last? And if you look at the picture at the beginning of this video, I'm going to drag an image off of Google, copyrighted, free. Thank you very much. Because I couldn't showed my dream any clearer than what I just found. So the employee can enjoy these benefits after 6 months of working with the company, encouraging them to stay for at least that amount of time. You know, it costs money to train people. Trust me, I know. I never could find a good employee. I was the only one, and I worked for myself. And let's see. We have Wikipedia here. I may post that for you. 10 reasons to put golden handcuffs on your best employees. Free yourself from the golden handcuffs for a more, let's get into this one. Because in my dream, I wasn't wearing them. I was looking at them. And this word was, well, let's see, it's not a word, it's two words. This phrase, coined in 1976, refers to money, power, and status. Incentives for keeping your hands tied when our heart and soul would rather not be. Sometimes, you want that six-figure salary. Imagine a new future for yourself if you got rid of those golden handcuffs, which is what I did. I think it was 77. I returned from college a couple years before that. A brother Maupin, 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 had come to a church, and he was headed for Springfield. And at the time, I had a piece of ground that my great aunt, had given to me and my mother so that we wouldn't have to work when we retired. She thought we could sell it. And there on that property, he prayed for me. And he saw little square areas of green, and I was the caretaker of them. And I had graduated from college, but I had not really found a corporate job that I enjoyed. So I met the love of my life. And to make a long word short, she was 17, turning 18, and I was 22. She was starting college, and I was heading home. In 1973 and 1974, my dad, myself, and one young man who was a very good worker, we built a really nice house. First one we had really nice had ever had. And so after Brother Maupin had prayed for me, and I went back to Springfield, got a job with a lawn company. Didn't like all the politics. And so I quit and started my own lawn business, and the rest is history. I traded that and sold that land at the lake for 80 acres outside of Whiteman Air Force Base. And I sold it in 2019 when I saw the writing on the wall. I think it was November 2019. I have a friend in Oregon, and that was where the hospital was for what we are being told was the first patient of the virus that has been bothering us the last few years. And so about the time I was still working with the corporation, I rented an apartment and went over to see my folks, because being 23, you shouldn't be living with your folks. And they told me they'd sold that house, which I was kind of upset about because I saw it as a long-term investment. But my dad, not to be confused with Bob Jones of Bob Jones University, He's referred to as Bob Jones the Prophet in most circles. Although I had spent a lot of time working on that house, I didn't have my name on it. And so he had to write, and so he did. And so he invested that money into 4 fixer-uppers. I think at that time, I know the one that he gave me, I think it cost $8,500. And then he bought 3 next to each other. And I lived in mine, he lived in one, and he rented the other 2 out. And I had to live there in a dump. It took me 8 years to move to Lee Summit and get a decent place. And so this video is about the golden handcuffs. Sometimes you just have to take them off and go it on your own. And so in this article here that I'm looking at, so I can keep my brain working, it says to develop a timeline you can stick to. You know, think in terms of 1, 3, 5, even 10 years out. So my goal was to get out of my dump in 10 years. Well, during that 10 years, I lost contact with probably the best friend I ever had. And I would imagine that she went to another college, joined a sorority, and had children. Now she would be about, I don't know, 62, 63 years old, probably retiring and having the time of her life. So one of the words my dad gave me, he said, if I would keep asking, I would find a friend. Well, I never did find a friend because I'd already found her. Had to give her up because of age and where we were on the timeline. Right now, if I met her, it'd be great. But I digress. To the story of Job. And I don't know how, but looking at these golden handcuffs, I simply did a search on golden handcuffs in the Bible. And the only thing that really came up was the story of Job, which, although it's not the first book in the Bible, it is one of the oldest stories. And we all know his story. And that is that he had a wife, he had children, he had animals, he was very prosperous. And the old Satan, I guess he's the angel of light, had a word with the Lord, I guess according to the book. And he said, Job only likes you and follows you and tries not to do evil because you bless him. And so Job lost everything. Job's affliction served as a discipline and worked to transform him into an even more righteous man. After losing everything, he was blessed more than before abundantly. In the meantime, he had what I call fraternity brothers telling me what a fool and idiot was, that I would never draw Social Security, that I couldn't run a business, that I'd be 30 and jobless. Well, I guess they were wrong, just like Job's friends were. So, having said that, that's my story of the golden handcuffs. Now, how does that fit in? I don't know. But I had no idea that there were so many videos and so much content about golden handcuffs that either this was my subliminal mind reminding me of that, or I actually had a real dream. So I'll let you decide, and I will try to get all of these links up and descriptions. So, hey, like my new basement. All right. Going to end this, folks. Thank you for joining in.